Okay, we're ready to go. Now, we've been doing the show for about 15 minutes. But since we didn't have a who would win...
Wait, we have been?
No, not really.
Have you
I'm
been?
saying,
I haven't. I've just been sitting here.
I'm saying it's felt like we've been ready to do the show for, I guess, more than 15 minutes.
About 40 minutes?
About 30 minutes at least, I would say.
I've been here for 40 minutes.
You haven't been here for 40 minutes. I'd say 30. I was giving you 30. I was being generous.
No. I got here at
What time would 40 minutes ago be? See, it's not working.
It was 5:35. I know what time it was.
You did not get here at 5:35.
Want to bet?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Let's check the cameras.
Want to bet?
Let's check
Would
the
you
cameras.
like to put a wager on it? Would you like to wager? I'll wager you 3 jammy Dodgers for your... For 4 crumpet cakes. Nail it. Jammy Dodger, that's a real cookie. It's got jam in it, I think.
No, it's not.
I'll Google it right now.
Oh,
Google
yeah.
Jammy Dodger.
3 hours later. 3 hours.
Okay, I was not typing.
No, I know. Jammy Dodger. Hey,
now that's
forget about
That's
it.
got nothing to do with nothing. That's got nothing to do with nothing. Open folder.
Forget about it. I'll Google it.
No, I'm already doing
did.
it.
Jammy Dodger, our popular British shortbread cookie sandwich with
Shut up.
jam
I'm
filling.
not done. Oh, brother.
They are round
Okay,
with
here we
a
go.
heart-shaped cutout in the middle.
Yeah,
Just give it up.
It's
A
loading.
Jammy Dodger's not real.
Yeah, you just read the definition. Your
Hearsay.
word is Jammy Dodger. Could you use it in a sentence?
A Jammy Dodger is a heart-shaped. No, is a circular.
Could you please
shortbread
pass? Could you please pass
sandwich.
the Jammy Dodgers? Well, it's a cookie. See, it's not.
It's not a cookie.
A Jammy Dodger. It's a biscuit, which is
Jammy
British
Dodgers
for cookie.
are a popular.
You're telling me that shit's not a
British
cookie?
Shortbread
Cookie
sandwich.
Yeah, that's a cookie.
No,
So
it's
an
a
Oreo,
sandwich.
Oreo's a cookie sandwich and not a cookie. Oreo is Milk's favorite cookie. Dumbass.
Look at what is that? Looks like a sand. That's bread. Shortbread. Shortbread.
Yeah, but you and I both know shortbread's
No.
not bread.
Yeah,
Shortbread
but
is
it's-
bread in name only.
No, when a short. Oh, great.
Your last name is Canada. Are you a country?
No,
are you
you're
a country?
missing the point.
I'm not missing the point. I'm making
Yes,
the
you
point.
are, because look
I
at-
can't miss it because I
Look
made
at that
it.
cookie. It's 2
Ah,
layers.
you just used the one. You just called it a cookie.
It's 2 layers of shortbread with filling in between, which makes it a sandwich.
I'm not having this conversation with you because you
No.
just called it a cookie. You just called it a cookie.
That's a sandwich.
But that's a cookie, though, because you said, look at that cookie, referring to that cookie.
sandwich.
But it is a cookie.
Cookie sandwich.
No, a cookie sandwich would be if you took 2 slices of delicious DiCamello's bread and put a bunch of Chips Ahoy between them and then munch on that.
That's why an
that's
Oreo
a cookie sandwich.
is a cookie, not a sandwich, because it's not
Because
bread.
it's a cookie.
That is bread.
Shortbread is
What'd you
not
say?
bread. It's
What?
bread. It's bread in name only.
It's a small version of bread.
Shortbread is
It's the less tall version.
It's a less tall bread.
It's a less
okay,
tall
fellas.
sandwich. That's a small sandwich.
British biscuit made from shortcake.
Cake.
Shortcake.
That's
see?
a
Not
shortcake. The article I read said a cookie sandwich made from shortbread.
Well, this is the real. That's from the official Jamie Dodgers website.
Can I be honest? I spelled it with a Y, not an IE. So I might have been looking at a different Jamie Dodger.
That's an off-brand Jamie Dodger.
Yeah. I was
That's
looking at a
a,
Costco Jamie Dodger.
That's the jingles to Santa's favorites. You dig?
See, that's an interesting dynamic
It's a
though, that
very
we've never
interesting-
talked about.
This is what this podcast should be. Because
Can we talk about? I gotta look. I'm gonna
it's February.
You talk about. I'm gonna look it up.
In the early 2000s, there was a cookie that would be
I still have some in my. They're not early 2000s. They still.
This is where just where our story begins, Matthew. I'm painting a picture. This is gonna be an epic journey. So, there was a cookie that would be placed on the shelves at Christmas time called Jingles. And there were these little shortcake kind of cookies with like sprinkles on them. They had kind of a strange taste, but they were like a staple in our house. It was always very exciting. Christmas would come. It'd be Jingles season. We'd buy a box of Jingles, and then, at night we'd watch TV, have some hot chocolate, and we'd dump the Jingles in hot chocolate. It was great. It was like a real tradition. So one year we'd get a box of Jingles, and they taste like dog shit. Like, they don't taste the way that they've always tasted. They taste gross and strange, and they might have even looked a little different. I don't know. So then, like, the next week, our dad goes back to the store, and he comes home with this new box of cookies that look just like the original Jingles, but they're called Santa's Favorites. And they tasted like the original Jingles, delicious, everybody's happy. But it was a very strange thing because you had Jingles, which were now not what they had previously been, still on the shelves next to the Santa's Favorites, which are what Jingles were.
All right. It was... the internet says that I think it was... Wait. Okay, so...
Pack of Jammy Dodgers cost you $7.
No, it was... See, what did it used to be called?
Jingles.
And then it became Santa's Favorites.
That's right. But Jingles was still a cookie.
So this is what the internet says, and this is confusing me. Santa's Favorites didn't actually become Jingles. Instead, Jingles was the original name of the cookie produced by the Salinero Baking Company.
Right, the Salineros.
And when the brand was acquired by Keebler, they renamed their cookie Jingles. Okay. So the original Santa's Favorites were made by Keebler, but then Keebler acquired the company that made Jingles. So then they named their cookie Jingles, but with their slightly different recipe.
Right.
But then the original Salinero recipe continued to be sold under the name Santa's Favorites by smaller retailers, preserving the older branding.
There you go.
So Big Cookie tried to buy Jingles.
Yeah, and they did successfully buy them.
But
they changed the recipe.
They didn't successfully... Well, they successfully bought the name.
Right.
But then smaller retailers continued to sell the original Jingles under the name
They bought the name, but they didn't buy the recipe.
Well, they bought the company. Maybe they didn't think the recipe was the right one to use. So other people were like, hey, if you're not going to use it, we are. And we're going to call them Santa's Favorites.
Right.
Just getting ready for next Christmas.
Teeing up next Christmas episode. That's what always happens. They buy
Big
it
cookie,
and they change
man.
it. It's like Mondo Burger.
Also,
it's a classic Mondo Burger situation.
I was in I got a text today. Can I get a fact check? Did the guy that invented McGriddles actually invent the stuffed crust pizza? Is this true?
It is true.
And I said, I don't know. I just trusted it. And then got sent this screenshot. Tom Ryan.
Yeah, that's
founder, Smashburger co-founder Tom Ryan is the creator of the McDonald's McGriddle and Pizza Hut stuffed crust pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Just to say again how iconic that guy has been on American society. The reason that most of the U.S. is obese is because of Tom Ryan.
Yeah, Tom Ryan did it.
And he's not that fat.
No, of course not. It's like how...
I disagree. Because most things... But I knew where you were going.
Yeah.
Most things, yes. With those two things, they're so delicious that no. It's not like you don't want to see how the sausage is made type thing. It's, I don't care how the sausage is made. This tastes fantastic.
Yeah, but I think to create something like that, you have to have the willpower that Tom Ryan, is that his name? Ted Ryan?
Sure.
Tom Ryan. That he clearly has.
Roald Dahl.
Hi, my name's Roald Dahl. I got a book I think
Ryan.
you might like. Oh, it's me, Roald Dahl.
Tom Ryan.
So
favorite top 3 Roald Dahl books. Go.
I could give you my top 3 least favorite.
Give me your top 3 favorite. BFG.
I only like the BFG. I really only like the BFG.
What else does he have?
He's got so many. Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, all those books.
That's Dahl?
That's Rare Durber.
I think we've had this conversation before.
I mean, we've talked about Roald Dahl.
No,
100%.
but I think it might have gone the exact same way.
Folks, I've just been handed this very important special bulletin. Right now, 2 in the Cooler listeners can get free delivery on the first order of $10 or more when they use Instacart. All you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this episode description. And let me tell you something, guys. Now, me, I'll admit I was ignorant. I was being a bit ignorant because I thought that Instacart was just for groceries. But it turns out when you use Instacart, you can get more than just groceries. You can also get some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. I'll tell you what, I've become a bit addicted to getting things delivered to my house. I absolutely love it. I was making meatballs for my wife and I for dinner the other day. And I'm like, okay, I got everything for meatballs, but fuck, no breadcrumbs. I need breadcrumbs. Bing, bang, boom. You go on the phone, say, hey, give me some breadcrumbs. Next thing you know, there's breadcrumbs at my front door. This is the kind of thing. I mean, we're living in the future, folks, okay? And if you don't want to be stuck living in the past, then you better get your ass on Instacart. Like I said, right now, 2 in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. Just hit the link in that episode, in this episode description to get yourself that deal. Once again, start making things a little easier on yourself and start using Instacart today. Folks, if you want to do something nice for yourself, and something that helps support the show, but mostly for you. I'm worried about you. Okay, that's the thing I want to get across here. Is you can check out, the good news is you can check out all the great merch we've got over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. T-shirts, mugs, bucket hats, hoodies, long sleeves, pint glasses, notebooks, slides. There's more stuff. I try to list everything whenever we do this ad. I'm like, what do we have in the store? What are they? And it's hard to remember everything because there's just so much. But what you'd never forget is the quality of these products. And let me tell you something, it's high quality, folks. All right, this is not that garbage Gildan brand that you get from like other organizations or potty. We've all had that thing, you know, like fun runs is the one thing that comes to mind for me. Like you do a fun run when you're a kid. It's like, oh, they're selling T-shirts for the event. And you're like, well, I got to get a T-shirt, $5, boom, no problem. And then it fits like a cardboard box. It feels disgusting. You want to wear it. You want to support the cause, or you know, you're excited to share if there's something that you're a fan of, whatever. But the shirt just doesn't fit and it shrinks. It's so bad. Not with us, baby. Okay, over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com, you get top quality, folks. All right, especially T-shirts. I'm talking tri-blend material. That's Target quality material, folks. Hit the link in this episode description. Go check it out. Get yourself something nice. Or again, take a look for yourself at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. And if you're interested in advertising on this show, you can email us. Reach out at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Podcast advertising, folks, it's here to stay. It's left out of a mark for itself. It's created a fine little niche here along the sides of, TV commercials or newsprint ads, whatever. Radio commercials, certainly, obviously. And you can see that when companies like McDonald's and State Farm, especially, State Farm's like one of the NFL's biggest advertisers, and now they're doing spots on podcasts. It's a big deal. It's cool to see companies of that size move into the podcasting, sphere. The problem is there hasn't been really any room for smaller or even local businesses to get in on that action, but that's what we're here for, and that's what we're all about. So again, if you're interested in learning more about all the benefits of podcast advertising, reach out to us. Hit us up at snackspotsports@gmail.com.
I watched Den of Thieves 2.
Whoa, okay, strap in.
Did you watch it?
No,
Did you watch Den of Thieves 1?
I've never even seen the first one. I've not seen the original Den of Thieves. I've seen Aladdin, Prince of Thieves.
Den of Thieves 2.
Or out?
I don't know about it. And I'll be fully honest, and this is how I don't know about it. I rented it on a Friday night. Watched the first 50 minutes, maybe it wasn't even that long, but I was tired. So I was like, well, let me see how much longer of the movie there is. There was still an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I got to put this on pause. I didn't get back to it until Sunday evening. And I slept through most of the second half. Woke up just as like the heist was going south. And then watched the end of the movie. But my point in saying that is it was not as good as the first one, because the first one, like I'll put it on and like I won't get off the couch till it's over. And this one, like, it was a very different movie. The first one was very much like these.
This one, the first one was more about the den. This one's more about the thieves.
No.
Oh.
No. Honestly, kind of the opposite. The first one, well, the first one is like the den of thieves. Like the thieves are all
in a den.
No, like
they're all playing on an old
the
Dell
way
computer.
they connect the dots, like in the end, is like they're all former like either ex-military and like they served together, or they played football together at Long Beach Poly and like they all ended up like serving in prison. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was connections. It was either football or military, and then all of them through prison. Like it was this big connection thing. So it was all like a bunch of like military, like ripped dudes, like shooting people, but also like
learning something from each other.
No, like with like what's the word? Like strategy. Like, you know, they were smart about like how they were robbing stuff. They were doing it like they were pros. You know, when people, what's the word they use? When like
professionals?
Not, yeah, but
these are professionals.
Like but you know what I'm talking about? Like they were
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what
no, it is professionals, but the people will call it like precision, like the precision. Like not military precision, but I don't know. There's a term I'm looking for and I can't find it. Okay. That's how the first one was. The second one, fuck you.
Sorry, dude.
Emily, did I say anything funny?
That's even. Sorry.
No, wait. You pull it together and then I'll go. Are you good?
Yeah.
The second one. I know you're trying.
I'm just listening.
Yeah. I fucking hate you.
Well, I'm not doing anything, Matthew.
The people that are listening to this hate you because they know the face that you're making.
Which is none? Which is just my regular.
Well, then your regular face, guess what? It's not good.
That's really
Work
mean.
on that.
I feel like I'm freaking Barb out there. You're coming at me so hard for no reason.
Fuck Barb. The second one, like, takes place in France, and he, like, maybe France. Might not be France. He, like, he's, like, the inside guy for the the Global Diamond Center or something like that.
Yeah. The Global Diamond.
What's it called? Do you know the big...
What? I don't think it's a real thing.
It is. All right, pause.
The Global Diamond Center. Pause.
Yeah. Everybody. Yeah. World Diamond Trade. Oh, God.
Sure. The Global Diamond Center. Yeah, I got a new job down at the Global Diamond Center.
Oh, I gotta look it up.
Diamonds International.
The World Diamond Center. Is the World Diamond Center real? If it's fake, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh no, it's a real thing.
Sounds.
It's in Belgium though.
Oh yeah, that's where I'd put it. It's the capital of diamonds.
So there's a chance this movie took place in Belgium. No, it was definitely like, I don't know.
It was Europe.
It was Europe. And that's where he goes on. One, fat as fuck.
Gerard Butler.
No.
O'Shea Jackson?
Is that the young cube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm talking 60+ pound increase from the previous movie.
He does look a little heavier. I've seen the posters.
And that, like, really just didn't sit right with me. Not because, like, not that I have a problem with him, but the timeline wasn't that long from the, I guess it was. I guess it was like a year or two between, like, the first movie and the second movie. Like, in movie time, not in real life.
Yeah.
And so that didn't sit right with me because, like, it just didn't – it looked like a totally different person, even though it was actually the same person. Like, I would have rather them be like, if you look like that, we can't use you in this movie. We're going to have to use somebody that looks similar to you.
Going to have to use Anthony Anderson.
Well, because, you know, like, they make actors get in shape for movies all the time. Apparently not this one. And, like, that's what makes me mad is I don't know if, from a casting perspective, they were like, we want you to be fat for this one. Because if that's the case, I'm even more mad because that just means they did a horrible job, like, doing the
This
movie.
was a cash grab kind of thing. Yeah.
And then, it was very, like, he would go into places and just be French, and he had, like, French stuff. It was, like, there was no, I mean, there ultimately was some, like, in the heist, but there was no, like, real, I guess I didn't watch the middle of the movie, so there might have been. Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, I still probably watched 2 hours of the 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever the runtime is.
Yeah.
So, it's not enough action for my liking. It was just it was a very different movie. And the cop, Gerard Butler, that goes after him in the first movie, it's just.
So, out of 5 stars, Den of Thieves.
Den of Thieves 1?
Den of Thieves 2.
Den of Thieves 1 is if we're just doing 5 stars, all right, if I would give it like a 4.8.
Den of Thieves.
On my scale.
Yeah,
the original
obviously.
Den of Thieves. Yeah.
Yes.
Like on movies that I like. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Den of Thieves 2.
2 stars? 1.5 stars.
That's 1.6.
1.6.
Maybe between 1.6 and 1.8. So I guess we'll call it 1.7.
Okay, we'll call it 1.7.
Yeah, we'll call it 1.7. It just was an entirely different movie. Like the cool part about the first Den of Thieves. Can I give a spoiler for the second Den of Thieves?
I don't care.
The cool part about the first one was like there was a pretty big twist at the end.
Yeah.
As to how it ended. Den of Thieves 2 was pretty fucking obvious.
Maybe you're just getting good at catching that stuff.
No. No. I mean, yes, but no. Like, not like the twist at the end of Den of Thieves 1. I'll spoil this one.
Don't spoil that. I don't want to spoil that.
Why?
Because what if I watch it someday?
But I can spoil Den of Thieves 2, but I can't spoil Den of Thieves 1?
A 4.8 out of 5 and a 1.7 out of 5. I don't give a shit if you spoil the 1.7, but don't spoil the 4.8.
That was my Den of Thieves preview. I think that was the only movie I've watched since we last spoke.
I watched a movie yesterday called The Apartment that I really liked.
Welcome to the old apartment.
That's my favorite Bare Naked Ladies song.
This is where we used to live.
That's what we should get into.
Broken bottles.
This is the part that it's
broken hearts and broken homes.
It's like Broken Landing. No, because it's Narrow Landing filled with crooks. Broken, hungry, broken hearts and broken bones, broken, hungry. I don't know, but this movie, The Apartment, it was great. It's from
broken glass, broken hungry, broken hearts and broken homes. This is where we used to live.
So this movie, The Apartment, 1960, Jack Lemmon, one of my favorite actors. And the premise of the movie, I didn't know what it was about before I watched it. The premise of the movie is this guy, he's like a corporate accountant, like he's a button pusher at this big company.
Yep.
So he lives alone. He rents out his apartment to all the executives that he works for them to come over and like have affairs in and stuff. So that's how he like gets ahead at his job. They're like, "Hey, can I use your apartment from like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m.? to bring a lady over, and he's like,
his
yeah.
bosses are
Yeah, his
cheating on their
bosses.
wives?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
all like calling him. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And then he like gets promoted and stuff. And it takes a really it's very funny, but it's also like very sweet, and it gets very dark and like emotional in like a really good way.
Because he's just letting his bosses bang on his bed.
No, dude. So
He falls in love with one of the bangers.
dude, it's so crazy.
He starts banging his boss.
No. So
Does he bang? Does he get to bang ultimately?
does he bang? I think at the end he bangs.
Okay.
Or there's like like implied banging. There's certainly implied banging at the end, but I don't think during the course of the movie he gets to bang.
Okay.
But dude, so
he falls in love with one of the bangers.
yeah, so I don't want to I
The
don't want to
bangees.
I don't
You
want
can
to say too
spoil it.
much.
You can
I will spoil a little
No,
bit.
you can spoil the whole thing. I'm not gonna watch it.
But I know, but everybody listening should, cuz this is
No.
it's so good. Matthew,
Okay. But nobody should. Okay.
this time you're wrong, cuz this is really this
Okay.
is a great movie.
Then talk, because I'm listening.
So there's like this girl that he likes who is an elevator operator,
Oh, yeah,
which is crazy that was a fucking job in 1960.
Still is a job.
What?
I'm in elevators all the time with operators.
No,
that
you're
is no
not.
word of a lie.
And where?
Arenas. Every elevator.
Okay, I could kind of see that. That's interesting.
Office
Elevator
buildings.
operator. Office buildings?
Couple office buildings. New York City.
Right, which is where this takes place.
Yep.
So he likes her, and then the guy who's like the boss of his bosses calls him in and is like, a lot of your superiors have been saying really nice things about you. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's nice of him. He's like, the last guy they said something nice about was like, buying drugs for everybody or something. So he's like, so what's going on? And he's like, oh, well. So the boss is basically like, let me use your apartment to like,
Bang.
yeah, to bang.
And he's banging the elevator
And
operator?
he's banging. It turns out he's banging the elevator operator. And
Yeah.
the way that so
we did spoil the movie.
no, because
Oh.
so much more happens
Okay.
after this. But
Don't fall asleep for the middle 40.
I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend.
All right. That is these
I would
two
recommend
fall asleep for
Fall
the middle
asleep.
40.
Here's a period where you can. There's a part in the movie where you know how in movies it used to say, "Put your 3D glasses on now." It's like you can fall asleep
Yeah.
now, and then they put an alarm on like 40 minutes later. So, the
Boss banging
yeah.
the
So the
elevator
boss is
operator.
banging the elevator operator. The boss is at Jack Lemon's apartment, and Jack Lemmon comes to the office. He's like, "Oh, hey, I think your lady friend left this thing," and it's like a little compact mirror, and like the mirror is like broken. So then, and Jack Lemmon's getting like a promotion, so he's on top of the fucking world, and he's like asking this elevator girl out. He's like, "Hey, now I'm big time, whatever." So then there's like this big office Christmas party. Everybody's kind of hanging out there. He and the Jack Lemmon and the elevator girl start kind of talking, and for whatever reason, she's got to like touch up her makeup or something. She pulls out the thing, and Jack Lemmon's like,
You're banging my boss.
No, they don't say that because he doesn't want to like embarrass her or
Yeah.
know anything. She doesn't know that it was his apartment that the boss took her to bang.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking movie. It's really good. I can't recommend it enough. The Apartment, and that's like
What does
Tip
it
of the
ever?
iceberg.
Do they ever confront? Do they ever?
I don't want to spoil it, Matthew, because this is a real movie that
Why do
people
I
should
have to watch if you just tell me?
Because it's good. The enjoyment, the experience of
So all right.
The
So
watching
watch
experience.
Welcome to the Old Apartment.
yeah. Well, watch it. Yep.
Welcome to the old apartment.
I was just thinking about some of the trips we've taken
A
to
bare-naked
Florida.
lady.
Yeah, with the bare naked ladies.
Kanye West's wife. Are they married?
I don't. I
Emily?
think they might. I think they are actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah. So she had like a sheer thing on.
She went naked. Yeah.
Okay.
She went nothing. Yeah. So what happened was
That
because you didn't
sucks.
see it.
No.
They walk up. He's got like black turtleneck tucked into some black trousers.
Yep.
Pretty tame outfit for Kanye. And she has this big black furry like jacket on, and it's like wrapped all around her. And so like they're standing there for the pictures, and then she like turns around and shows like a little shoulder out the jacket, you know what I mean? And like people are taking pictures, just like a pose. And then she just starts like slowly but surely like taking the jacket down, and you're like, wow, like she's got nothing on her back.
Yeah.
And then she drops the jacket, and they're like, wow, like
she's got nothing on her front.
She got nothing on her ass. And then she turns around, and they're like, holy shit, she got nothing anywhere. She's just ass naked.
She's got
in the
nothing.
middle of the red carpet.
Yeah.
Just nothing. And then, yeah, they did get kicked out because he wasn't invited.
He wasn't invited in the first place, right?
But it's funny that, to me, I know Kanye's not normal when it comes to the way that he thinks of things, but you like a normal person would be like, oh, if I'm going somewhere that I'm not invited to, I should try to blend in.
I like the idea of going to this event and doing something as like a big fuck you. What I really don't think is cool is having his wife do it, because look, I don't know who this woman is.
I don't think she's a normal. I would assume she's not normal.
No,
either.
I don't think so.
But
But I do think that, like, whatever her deal is, Kanye West is like fully controlling her life. But that's not cool. That's not like a good thing.
No, not
like
good.
I'm sure.
But I think but that's what I would guess. I get what you're saying, but I think that she might also just like there's a chance it wasn't Kanye's like idea.
There's no chance that it wasn't Kanye. Of course it was his idea.
No, yeah, I could see her being, if you're crazy enough to get married to Kanye, I could see her being crazy enough to be like, hey, want to know what we could really do to fuck with him? Let me just go ass naked.
But I don't think I think that look, I don't know much.
She didn't look like she didn't want to be ass naked. Like she was very fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like she was like, fuck, I don't want to do this. There was no hesitation. She turned around and just hands on the hips that, here I am.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm not giving this woman enough credit.
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I saw the picture. At first I thought she was wearing a dress that made it, the fabric was like pixelated.
No, that was just
you got safety.
Google safety on. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I gotta watch. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yep. No,
gotta have the safety screen
up. What you were saying something about Florida?
I don't know why this popped in my head, but do you remember when because we'd go to Florida like every year growing up.
Yeah.
Which was cool. And we'd go to Disney World, but we wouldn't stay on Disney property. We'd rent a house in Orlando.
Yep.
And then like one day we'd drive to Disney, one day we'd drive to Universal Studios. And I remember one day you were 6. I remember you were 6. And we're all getting in the car to go to Universal Studios.
I was freeballing.
You were freeballing.
Yeah.
But here's what happened. So we're in the car, and we're like, Matthew, hurry up. And finally, you, like, run out of the house and get in there. And you're wearing, like, basketball shorts. And, you know, when you got into the car, slid into your seat, the shorts, that fabric, you know, it's so, like, flowy, flimsy, whatever. It, like, swooped its way up. So your penis and balls are, like, hanging out, sitting on the chair of the you were hanging brain in the rental car.
I don't even think that's
and I'm
true.
like, Mom, Matthew's penis is out. Like, I didn't even say it to you, but I'm like, what? There, it's like, it's just sitting there on the, you know, of this Honda Odyssey with interior is now covered with a child's testicles. Not the first time, not the last. And so we're driving down the road, and so Dad's like, well, I got to turn around. And you're like, why? And all three of us are like, Matthew, you have to wear underwear. We're going to like an amusement. You have to wear underwear. And you're like, it's just not clicking for me. Like, I go commando. And you know, you as a kid, there were times where you'd get really mad, especially when it would come to clothes, I'd feel like. You were always very fashion forward, Matthew. And this time you weren't mad. You were just like, I don't, what do you mean? What's wrong? But it's like seeing like, I don't know. It was like seeing like a mouse in your kitchen. It was like, what the hell? But it was a child's cock.
I got a lot of things that I have to say. First and foremost being, good to know that you're thinking about my 6-year-old penis.
Okay, I'm not thinking about that. I was thinking about vacations.
You said I don't know why this popped into my head, but
my God,
I saw your penis when you were 6.
I was trying to bury the lead for the joke so we could get to that point.
But that means you were thinking about it, though. Probably not the only one.
What the fuck? Well, you did go see Winnie the Pooh after a Red Lobster day with that. You were only 4 then. Whatever. Good trip though. That's where I learned the word commando. I feel like you had already known it because that's what you were doing at that time.
If you don't need to be wearing underwear, it's a totally useless thing.
Need to be wearing underwear?
Like if you're not in a situation where you need to be.
Need to be wearing underwear. I guess you don't.
If you're in public, you should wear underwear.
Okay, that's good to know.
There's exceptions.
Universal Studios being one of them.
No, not anymore.
The Hulk roller coaster being
7-Eleven.
Yeah, 7-Eleven.
Quick 7-Eleven trip.
7-Eleven. Probably. I would though. I mean, I wear underwear everywhere.
In your own house?
Yeah, I wear underwear in my own house.
That's crazy.
The only place I don't wear underwear is when I'm exercising. I don't wear underwear.
See, that seems backwards to me.
I hear what you're saying, but I just don't. Because when I'm doing my moves, my exercises, I need to be flexible.
If you show up to my house,
but I'm not naked. I'm wearing shorts.
If you show up to my house, there's no chance. If I'm in my own home, there's no chance I'm wearing underwear.
What about that Halloween party you had in October? Were you wearing underwear to that?
I was wearing jeans, so yeah.
You got it, brother. Jeans without underwear, you're a brave man.
I've seen it be done.
Oh, I've done it.
Oh, yeah, when you shit yourself.
No.
Oh.
I had underwear on.
Well, yeah, but you had to take them off because you had shit in them. I
don't know which time we're talking about, so let's keep going. But dude, yeah, when you are,
and that's my thing. I know I'm not gonna shit myself.
Underwear's not there just as like a shit safeguard. And also
it's a big part of it.
I don't think so because a lot of underwear doesn't even help though with that. Like
I would say there's 2 main reasons for underwear.
So your 6-year-old penis doesn't fly out on the mummy ride.
No, that's not even one of them.
Oh really? Because that'd be up top for me.
The 2 main. It depends on what. Like if you're wearing pants, the 2 main reasons for underwear I would have to assume are like shit and smell. Like, so if you poop yourself, you got a little bit of a safeguard, and if like, I don't know, you're farting or you got smelly balls or something, I guess.
Sure, it's like an air filter.
Because if you're wearing a pair of pants, what else do you need under? And again, I'm going to say this out loud. I usually wear underwear when I'm in public.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. But
I'm at a point in my life where I guess I'm always wearing underwear in public.
That's great.
But in the privacy of my own home,
no underwear.
There's not a chance I'm wearing underwear. If I'm getting comfortable, like if I'm gonna sit down on the couch and watch a show, here's my problem with underwear. Then you have two layers worth of clothing to worry about, like getting comfortable in. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. That's why I don't wear underwear to sleep.
Okay, I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
Because you wear pajamas.
Yeah.
So when you wake up, are you taking your pajama pants off, putting underwear on, putting your pajama pants back on to go like
downstairs and stuff? No.
And how great is that?
It's nerve-wracking because my pajamas don't fit that well. So I have to be constantly
like they're going
worried.
To fall off, or you think you're showing too much?
No, that they're going to fall off. The pants for my pajamas, I bought them a size too big because
you wanted some room.
I wanted some room.
You anticipating some weight gain?
No.
You just want to be comfortable.
I want to be comfortable.
Okay.
All right. Separate podcast, different time, different conversation. And they just they fall down a lot. My pants do.
Again,
So I gotta.
not an adult issue that you should be having. Like, worrying about, like, if you are an adult,
Yeah.
you should
if you
never
pay taxes,
really be
worried about your pants.
if you're a
falling down?
dependent. No, if you're an independent. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a dependent, pants fall down.
Yeah, if you're
Because that's not your problem.
If you're an independent, you shouldn't be wearing pants that on a whim could just come down.
Not a whim necessarily. Strong breeze.
That's a whim. If nobody's pulling at them, they shouldn't be coming down. To the point where I'd like to argue that as an adult, you should be wearing pants that even if somebody does pull at them, there's a chance they don't come down.
True. Fair enough. Maybe I should just start wearing a belt.
Don't they have a? They don't have a.
No, they don't.
They got no. Are they elastic?
They are elastic.
But you bought too big. The elastic's too big.
Yeah, it's still
you could
too
throw
big.
a stitch in them.
Excuse me.
Hem them.
Yeah, I want to
Throw a
get my
stitch in 'em.
pajamas. I want to get my pajamas taken in.
Yeah. Not the legs, just the waist.
Yeah.
You'd have a weird little.
Now I got to get some new ones anyway because they're starting to look. Because they're also too long, which is another thing that I like about them. But now the cuffs are like, yeah, because they cover my feet.
When
but
you sleep?
Yeah. If I want them to. But the cuffs.
Do you get hot at night?
Yeah, I get super hot at night.
Yeah, I just never really understood the whole
sweating.
pajama thing.
I can't because
you want to know what I wear to bed? Shorts and t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean I wear a t-shirt, all bamboo by the way. Obviously, I'm a bamboo man. I have to be.
You
comfortable.
rock bamboo.
My pajamas. Nope, gone. Bamboo. It's all bamboo.
Batman's?
No, those got ripped up years ago. My Batman pajama pants.
In what circumstance are your pajamas getting ripped up?
I wore them for like 5 years, and honestly the knees just wore down. Look, man, I don't know.
You opened yourself
yeah,
up to
I
more
know,
questions,
but I'm just telling you
what
it
are
is.
you doing on your knees in pajamas?
I'm not doing anything on my knees.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying. Because we all know what you're saying.
No, I'm not even. I'm just asking in general. Like,
maybe I was doing a bunch of squats
in your pajamas.
Sure.
You want to do Who Win of the Week?
Yeah, please. The Who'd Win of the Week this week is Sherlock Holmes versus Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Detective versus detective.
Detective v. Detective, baby.
Pet Detective versus detective.
Now, I would argue. Now, Sherlock Holmes, the thing that's so famous about Sherlock Holmes is, like, he notices everything, right? He's like, oh, you have a piece of ash on your collar. That means you smoke Marlboro Red cigarettes, and they only sell those
lungs.
cigarettes. Sure, there's that. There's, like, the RDJ Sherlock that's, like...
Yeah. No, that's who I'm going. I'm going RDJ.
RDJ. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura, I would argue, also incredibly observant. Thank you, Matthew. Also incredibly observant.
I would agree.
And I know he's goofy and silly and stuff. Sherlock Holmes definitely carries himself. He's a little more stoic. But as far as detective skills go,
I mean,
I think Ace might have him beat.
I
don't know. That's a lot to say, but
that's wrong. Maybe not wrong, but I don't think you can make that claim. Here's what I'll say is Sherlock Holmes does have a bit more Ace Ventura in him than people allow themselves to realize.
Go on.
Like when he's in that, because we're talking about Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes.
Got it.
So like when he's in that room and he's like shooting his gun and he teaches the flies how to circle with his little ukulele thing.
Right.
Like he's doing weird obscure shit.
Yeah.
Or like when he jumps out the window and he disguises himself by like stealing the hat. Like that stuff's very Ace Ventura-esque.
You're right.
But Ace Ventura's not a killer. And I'm not saying Sherlock's a killer. Like I'm not saying he's killing people, but he's a bit more of a killer. Like physically. And like I don't and also because he's a good detective, Ace Ventura's lighthearted, dumb-witted, like goofy tricks that he pulls that like distract other people that allow him to get away with things wouldn't work on Sherlock. And that's Ace Ventura's real only advantage to like an average Joe is that not only is he like observant and stuff like that, but he can also clown it up, and it passes over on people who aren't that observant. It's not going to pass on Sherlock.
Yeah.
And physically, I think Sherlock Holmes would beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, physically, I mean, especially if we're talking about the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock.
When he's like, break left rib, chop throat. But he uses good terminology. Chop.
No, I think he says
lower
chop
thorax.
Throat. I think he says chop
fracture
throat.
cartilage.
Fracture cartilage.
I don't fucking know, dude. You know what I mean? He does all that, and he's like, and then at the end, he's like, time 7 seconds, recovery 6 to 8 weeks, physical, years mental. Or what, you know what I mean? Like, he does the whole breakdown, and then it goes full speed. I'm spitting everywhere, and then the guy's just out, done, boom.
Ace Ventura, though, not for nothing, he does have this connection with animals, where if he calls them to his aid, they will come. Now,
but Sherlock Holmes would just blow dart the dog, and it would.
That's a good point.
It would just be it's a neurotoxin, but it's not permanent. He'll wake up.
I was thinking
it
more
just
of
slows
like
his heart rate down.
I was thinking more of like toucans and things. Like, how would Sherlock Holmes beat out
a
bunch of birds? I guess that answers that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So end of the day,
it's Sherlock.
It's Sherlock.
I do think we were able to shine good light on Ace Ventura from a detective perspective, but physically, Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes is going to beat the wheels off of Ace Ventura.
True, but you got to show Ace some respect, because at the end of the day, he does get results.
Yeah. No. Hey, listen. He finds that earring in the dolphin bin or whatever, the diamond stud in the dolphin bin. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
He figures out who stole the dolphin.
Yep.
In the filter of the dolphin bin. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the first one, it's a classic.
Yeah. That's pretty observant.
Yeah.
I one time, somebody dropped like an earring in a pool, and everybody looked for so long to find it, and I was like, I'm fucking Ace Ventura, Bubba. I'm going to fucking find this shit.
You really thought to yourself, I'm Ace Ventura?
I remember being like, dude, how sick would it be if I was the one who found this? And everybody like gave up after a few quick passes with goggles. I was like, nah. And I believe that I was under the influence of alcohol at the time, so I was just like, I'm going to find this thing. I was just committed to it.
Yeah, that's really...
And I don't know if I ever did, but I think I did. I think I did find it.
What?
I think I did.
I thought the beginning of this, I don't know if I'd call it a story, but thing that you were talking about.
I might have said I found it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if I actually did.
Oh, my God.
I don't remember. Because I feel like I was so determined to find it. I feel like I would remember that feeling of like
disappointment not finding it. Oh, okay.
No, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you had found it.
And I don't remember that being part of the event. So, but I do think I
might still be lost.
Yeah, I do think I found it, but maybe I didn't. Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock.
Lock that in. Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Who would win of the week? Sherlock Holmes, detective versus Ace Ventura, pet detective. I almost said
Beautiful.
Ned's Declassified.
Ned's Declassified, school, pet detective.
Survival guide. Andy, we got to get out of here.
Yep.
Before we go, I pass the mic to you.
And
final thought.
Yes, and with that final thought, all I have to say is that, it's a time out there when you wake up and,
you wake up every morning and you step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on?
If you can name who sings that, we'll end the episode. If you don't, we got to stay here for another 3 hours. "25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of..."
I don't know.
You got to know it? Well, buckle in, folks, because the podcast's just getting started. Let's talk more about Jamie Dodgers. Don't Google it. That's cheating. Besides, everybody listening already knows who sings the song What's Up. That's the name of that song, not What's Going On. It's What's Up.
Yeah, good ass.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's the 4 Non-Blondes.
Oh, 4 Non-Blondes, yeah. It's called What's Up?
Yep.
How in the
So that was Song of My Summer between freshman year and sophomore year of high school.
Of your summer?
Yeah, Song of My Summer. Definitely not the song of the summer, because that song I'm sure came out in the 90s, but it was a song of my summer. There was this website. It was called like Land Shark, where you could like somebody at school showed it to me. You could
beer?
No, you could like listen to music on it for free.
Gotcha.
You know, there's like pre-Spotify, so it was a little like, you know, you weren't supposed to, but it was a website you could.
It was like Emily, what
almost like a Napster,
LimeWire.
It was like LimeWire, but like a little more secure.
Downloading stuff.
You weren't downloading. No,
okay.
You could stream it for free. And if you remember, between the summers of 9th and 10th grade, if you took honors English, you had to read Red Badge of Courage and Animal Farm, and then you'd write like a 2-page essay about them. So when I would write that 2-page essay.
Was that the one with Carlson?
Yeah.
I would. Definitely didn't read those books.
Oh, I read them. Red Badge of Courage sucks ass.
I've only ever read what's the little kid version?
The Illustrated Classics?
Yeah, I only ever read I probably read the Illustrated Classics version for the class.
Would have been. Honestly, the Illustrated Classics version is probably written better than Stephen Crane or whoever wrote that. So I would, I did not want to do this stupid fucking paper. So I put on the same 4 songs on this like playlist, and I just listened to them over and over again, sitting there for hours while I was writing. And that was one of them. It was that one, and it was, you know the lights don't stop it. Which I believe is by Ellie Goulding. And then there was another song. That's a good. I listened to that song many, many times. I like it a lot. Hold on, I'm trying to remember the. There's a part. Like,
I just did the whole song.
That's a part I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
This is why you listen to the whole podcast. I'm just going to say that.
I never had I mean, I'm sure I've had songs in summer, but the only one I could think of like that is, and it wasn't even the song of summer. It was the song of like the end of, I think what it would have been my senior year. And I didn't actually like the song, but the reason I consider it that is because AP Stats, we had to do the video, you know?
Yeah.
And our video was, the movie Dirty Grandpa had just came out. And so we did a Stats version of Dirty Grandpa. That's one with Zac Efron and Robert De Niro.
Couldn't remember De Niro's
Bobby Trees.
Name.
Yeah. And the song that starts like in like one of the intro montages of that movie is that song by Matt and Kim. It's like oh yeah, it's called Daylight.
Yeah,
it's when the daylight. Yeah, and I edited that video, and it was like the intro song, and like, I mean, I was using like iMovie, and I also wasn't a good editor at all. So like, I feel like every time I would start like do something, I would like, I had to have watched it 1,000 times to like get stuff right. And so I heard that song so many times. And you want to know the one thing I didn't fucking do after all that work, and I regret it to this day because it fucked up the viewing of it for like when you show it to the class, is I didn't put like a title screen on it until the very end. So the whole thing played, and people were probably like, what the fuck is this supposed to be, to an extent? And it was a Stats spinoff of Dirty Grandpa, but I never told anybody that. And it pissed me off, because I was like, maybe at some point you would have figured it out if you had seen the movie, but if we would have teed it up at the beginning, it would have made so much more sense. Like, I'm pretty sure the opening scene after the montage was my buddy Christopher on the couch, and it looked like he was playing with himself, but he was actually like erasing a whiteboard, and he had a TI-84 next to him, and he was erasing like a graph.
I mean, is there a finer machine in human history? It's like the automobile, perhaps.
But there's a
perhaps the
scene in that
Model T.
movie where the opening scene in that movie, the grandpa gets
caught
caught pulling
jerking
one.
off, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got.
That'll do it.
Andy, I love you.
I love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.